do this right now if you want to destroy anyone in a debate or an argument. If you never want to ever lose another debate again, this is all you need to do. Just follow these 2 rules. Number 1, stay calm. And number 2, stick to the facts. If you just follow these 2 rules alone, you will win 99.9% of your arguments, if not 100% of your arguments, because usually what happens when you stay calm and you stick to the facts is the other person will jump to hyperbole and get all emotional and start spewing nonsense that you can easily call out, give you all sorts of little juicy targets to hit, and will not be able to actually challenge you on anything because you're sticking to the statistics, to the data, to the research, right? But again, you have to make sure that you remain calm. You don't resort to name calling, any childish personal attacks, even if you may want to. Just if anybody's going to start name calling and resort to personal attacks, you want to let them do it, okay? Because once you've got them personally attacking you, labeling you, calling you names, throwing ad hominems, you've already won. You've won, okay? You've won. You've won your argument. I mean, I can't think of a single argument I've ever lost here on my channel with somebody who wanted to challenge any of my ideas. I can't think of a single one. I've literally won all of them. I mean, I don't really like get into the comment sections like I used to anymore, just because it started to get tiring after a while. I started to hear the same arguments, the same insults, the same dumb remarks, the same labeling, the same name calling, that it's like, okay, I feel like I could just copy and paste all of my previous arguments that I like just completely torpedoed when it came to these people, just annihilated these detractors, and just keep doing that because not a single one was able to refute me on the actual facts, right? And that's most of what I spew here on my channel, for example, is just straight facts. You know, whether it comes to single moms, DGs over 30, right? I mean, these are all statistically true, and anything that can't be proven with statistics that I talk about on my channel are usually blatantly just optically obvious, right? It's something that you can look out in the world and go, yeah, I see this every single day. I see this everywhere, right? It's something that is visually, easily observable visually, that can be verified if there's no data behind it. All right, so it's really impossible to debate me because I do stick to the facts, or I do stick to things that are just so visually true, it's hard to refute, right? And usually the other person gets so riled up that they end up resorting, I mean, you even see in my comments, a lot of haters, right? Not so much these days, but definitely in the past, right? It's like, it's always a personal attack. It's always some sort of name calling. It's always some sort of like just sensationalizing of the truth, you know? So they instantly lose and they can't back it up, and usually they'll run away, right? But you'll find that you will beat almost anybody in an argument if you just stick to those 2 things, right? Just stay calm and stick to the facts. A lot of times what I like to do too is where a lot of people lose their arguments is, even though they do have facts, they're not patient. Okay, so that should be a third thing here, is you want to be patient. You want to give the person room to speak and hang themselves, right? So you don't want to be so quick to just like shut this person down, like, oh my God, hey, look at this. I've got it up on my phone. I've got the stats. No, just be patient, right? Be calm, be patient, and let this person just talk and talk and talk. Even ask them questions, even to probe, right? Probe their argument and be like, okay, tell me why you think this. Right? And that's a common tactic I'll do with people too. I'll say, well, okay, explain, elaborate. Tell me why. Where did you get this information? Okay. Or I'll be like, where can I look this up? Can I look this up on Google? Do you have a website that I could go to? Right? Because if they're giving me some leftist website, I'm going to be like, Really? Oh, here it is. It's on HuffPo. Like, really? This is where you got this? You can find it on CNN.com. Really? That's where you got that? Right? You give the person room to hang themselves, right? You want to give them enough rope to hang themselves because most often they will if you let them. But too many people are just too in a hurry to shut them down, shut down the other side, and not give them time to really hang themselves. I mean, a lot of these debates, you don't even have to put that much energy into, right? Because I debate people so much, especially like in the past online, that I just, you only have so much energy. So I would always say, okay, well, tell me why you think this. I would let the other person do all the talking, right? And then I would just kind of like find the holes in their argument. That's really an easier method than like sitting there and trying to go head to head, like punch for punch, right? And just trying to knock each other out. You're just like, they punch, you punch, they punch, you punch. Instead, let them punch themselves out. You got to kind of pull like a rope-a-dope on them, right? You guys remember Muhammad Ali, like a rope-a-dope? So yeah, you want to pull a rope-a-dope on them, but verbally. Pull a verbal rope-a-dope on them, where you just kind of lean up against the rope, let them talk and talk, explain their points, and just kind of talk themselves out on their nonsense, and then just kind of poke and prod. Whenever you find a hole, go, wait a minute, what about that? Where did you get that information? Who told you that? And why do you think that's true? So you just have to be good with asking them questions too. Be genuinely curious where they're getting their information. And I've always said this about, for example, the woke mafia, right? Like say feminists, leftists, especially like leftist politicians, even some rhinos on the right. Right? Like I've always said the left is like one big woman, right? The left is like really, it's like one big female. I mean, if you hear them say a lot of things on TV that sound good on paper or that sound like really crazy when they say it, like, oh my God, that's terrible, right? But if you really poke and prod and just go, okay, well, where are you getting this information? Explain this, right? They really don't have an answer, right? They'll say things like, oh my gosh, these domestic terrorists, they're a threat to democracy. That's an example, right? And you go, how? How are they a threat? Explain that. I don't understand. Help me understand. How are they a threat exactly? Well, they're shutting down, they're banning books. Okay, what do you mean? In Florida, they're banning books. You didn't know they're banning books. Florida, they're supposed to be free over there. They're banning books. Okay, what books are they banning exactly? Don't just tell me they're banning books. Like, what kind of books are they banning? Why would they ban these? What kind of books? Tell me. And they'll be like, just books for children. Books for children. Can you believe they're banning books for children? Okay, they're banning books for children. What is in these books? Right? You just keep prodding, right? And then they'll have to get to the truth eventually, or a lot of times they won't. They'll try to change the subject, but they'll be like, they're banning books for children. And then you go, let's look this up. Oh, you mean the pornographic books? The ones that are like featuring like sexual positions and stuff that these kids that are in first and second grade are reading? But that's inappropriate. Don't you think it's inappropriate? Isn't that kind of like showing a kid a porno? Well, it's a book though. It's like, is this appropriate for a first grader though? Then you could get to the meat of the argument. But that's what a common tactic of the left is. They'll kind of sensationalize things and spread this hyperbole, like I just said. Oh, they're banning books in Florida. Oh my gosh, the children, and then you start prodding and going, well, what are these books exactly, and why are they banning them? What's in these books, right? You notice, like, once you get to the meat of the argument, there is no more argument, right? And this is why I've totally lost respect for the left, and I'm just using them as an example. Totally lost respect for the left because they do that, right? They're constantly spreading almost like headlines to try to get people to emotionally react. They want people to emotionally react because they know people who are emotionally reactive won't ask these questions, right? They won't ask them questions like I just did. What do you mean? Or they were like, what else were they saying recently about Florida? Oh, don't say gay bill. They have a don't say gay bill. Can you believe that they hate gays? Oh my gosh. And then you prod, you go, well, is that really in the bill though? Where in the bill does it say that? Can you pull it up on your phone and show me? No, it's in there. Trust me. All right. Well, let's find it. Let's find it. Right. Well, that's what they meant though. That's what they meant. It's like, okay, but it's not in the bill though. Where did you get this information? CNN. Yeah. I mean, but that's what you want to do. You want to let the person just hang themselves. All right. You want to let them talk. You want to let them just give them enough rope to just put it around their own necks and really, and just shoot themselves in the foot. You don't really even have to do that much work, but I mean, if you really want to put any effort into it, then you can go forward and you can start hitting them with more facts, right? But as long as you stay calm and you stick to the facts and you stay patient, you'll win like 99.9% of your arguments, because it's very difficult to argue with somebody who has facts. And really, you're not really ever going to argue with somebody else who has facts, because if you have facts and they have facts, that's rarely going to happen, right? But there will be times where you'll argue with somebody who claims they have facts, but that's when you want to poke and prod and go, okay, where did you get that? Where did you get those facts, right? It's like when single moms have tried to argue with me on my facts. Like, hey, where did you get that then? Where did you get your facts, right? I'm like, because I was like getting into it, this one single mom, she was like, no, those facts are incorrect, because my facts say that single mother's actually good for kids. Like, where did you get that? Where did you read that? I have the link. Okay, send me the link. I was shocked. Send me the link. Yeah, it's some like leftist feminist purple hair site. I'm like, you realize they manipulated this, right? You realize there's no data behind this. They did a very small survey of like 100 people. I'm like, the statistics that I have for you were done over decades with hundreds of thousands of people, and then she'll be like, where did you get yours at? Where'd you get yours? Some right-wing conservative site or something? I'm like, from the US Census Bureau, from the government. And not only there, but we could go to your leftist sites and we could pull these same exact facts that they're spewing, right? So I try to get as unbiased facts as much as possible. And then she'll be like, it's not true, and she lost, right? Usually that's how you know, like when the person runs away, you just won the argument. They'll never admit it, because people who will try to debate you on hyperbole or sensationalism will never... They're just too arrogant to ever admit they're wrong. So they'll usually just run away or tell you your facts are made up, or, oh, those aren't true, whatever, even though it is coming from credible sources, whether it's, the US Census Bureau, Cornell University, some Ivy League school, Harvard. I mean, I've gotten facts from all of these places, whether it's coming even from their political side. Oh, no, it can't be. It can't be, because they just can't admit they're wrong. Right? If somebody shows me like great statistics that they got from a credible resource, and it's in the same statistics are across the board with other sources, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh yeah, no, that's not true. I'll be like, okay, there's probably some truth to that, right? Because the last thing you want is to be so arrogant that you're never willing to admit when you're wrong at all. And there are times where I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit it. Go, okay, let me learn from this. Okay, where did you get that? And let me, or even if some sources do seem credible, I will want to dive deeper, because I'm a skeptic, right? I want to make sure that these are credible, right? Especially if I'm going to spew them on my channel. I want to make sure, like, okay, wait, let me dig deeper into this and find out what's really going on. But those are the two main things that you need to do to win arguments and never lose. All right? You just want to let the person just get all cranky, get all in a huff, and get all emotional, and try to win as many debates with as little effort as possible. Right? Again, like, no different than a boxer, just like using the rope-a-dope, right? Because a lot of people could be rope-a-dope these days, especially from the, from the woke mafia, because they're so emotional, they're so out of their minds that it's really not hard to win arguments against them. It's really hard. Actually, it's really hard to just sit and even have any type of debate with them, because a lot of times they don't show up, or they won't want to debate, or they'll just want to like fire out some personal attacks towards you and run away. And that's like good enough for them. They feel like, oh, I got validated. Oh, I had to get that out of my system. I had to give him the finger and say F you, F you, F you like 1,000 times in a row to him. Now I feel better about myself. It's like, okay, well, that's not a debate. That's just being childish. So as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, anything I might have missed, drop them in the comments below. Also, make sure you smash that like button. Smash it for me right now. Hit the notification bell as well. Also, smash that like button. Did I say like or subscribe button? Smash the like, subscribe, and the notification button for me. There you go. Smash all three. And for you guys who want to support my work and all this amazing red pill content I'm teaching you, best way to support my work is by jumping into my premium Alpha Male Secrets coaching program. Right now, it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content from me. So take advantage of it. It's the best way to support my work. If you love what I'm teaching you here, all you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video.